Welcome to today's Operation Greatness Freeing the Matrix Parasite Cleansed Focused Wealth Immersion Action Pod number 73. Today we are considering which of the leaks in your boat can we fix first together. Let's keep our head above water as we are tackling them all. When you hear those words, what comes to mind immediately for you? I'm guessing that's the most important leak that you have in your boat, the one where water is coming into your boat, and maybe you're even having to spend most of your time bailing the water out of the boat. So which leak is that for you? Is that finances? I'm guessing for most people that's what it is, where they're maybe even using credit cards, which is like taking a loan at high interest rate from a loan shark just to get by, just to pay their ongoing expenses. Is it worry about the economy? Is it stress overall? That's the biggest leak that you have in your boat, where maybe you're not even able to sleep at night, for example. Like, I'm trying to remember who this was, but what comes to mind for me is I just read recently a Facebook post, and it was someone, I don't remember if she's like a friend that I know in person or somebody that I have had in my circle anyway. And she was like, oh, I remember now who it was. Yeah, it was a woman on Twitter, on X, and she was like, she's so stressed about money that she's even getting blood in her stools because she has like an ulcer, I think, because of the nerves. And anyway, I mean, so many people now today are overly stressed, and it's been that way for, well, since March of 2020, when what I call the invasion of evil hit our shores, hit our lives, forced everyone to face their darkness, deal with the things that they were neglecting. You could call this the global dark night of the soul, which is another accurate way of describing it. And this is the time in history where well, the systems, first of all, I mean, we have to be honest and open and talk about things truthfully here, not hiding it, not sugarcoating it. The systems of the world were designed to oppress us, to cause us to not even connect with our power, which is beyond measure. So to connect with our power, we have to connect with each other. We have to build strong tribes, strong communities, strong neighborhoods, strong groups, strong alliances. So I'm asking you to lead your own community in helping everyone in your community become strong and repair the leaks in their boats. And we're doing this together. And we're having a lot of love and compassion and patience and kindness and charity, because every one of us now is struggling. That was by design, of course. I mean, we have to talk openly about this. And because the systems of the world were designed to keep people small, to keep them down, to keep them distracted, to keep us divided, well, we need to dismantle those systems of oppression. This one woman I dated who was she was so beautiful, and it was just like wondrous to be around her. She called it the enslavement matrix. She she didn't buy into that. The whole, like, everything in society is geared to get you out of your power, to get you away from your connection with God, with your higher purpose, with your power. I mean, like, that would be interesting to do an interview with her, actually. She would be great. She was like the whole consumerism thing, like the epitome of that to me, of the abuse that we had tolerated in our lives, which we can no longer tolerate at all, was the commercial, and I don't remember who it was, the model who was very beautiful, and she has like, long dark hair, maybe a little darker skin, and she says, it's like a shampoo ad, and she says, "Don't hate me because I'm beautiful." And what that sent a very clear, the message that sent was very clear, unequivocal. If you don't look as hot as I do, then there's something wrong with you, and you have to feel inadequate. You can't feel good about yourself. You have to feel ugly. You have to feel unworthy of love. And yet, that's just one symptom of the darker, insidious beauty industry, which was designed to keep women striving for something like an ideal so that they don't feel good and attractive and loving themselves. It was a whole attack on the self-esteem of half of the population. I mean, that's just one example. I mean, evil is so predominant, pervasive everywhere, like the school system. I mean, the indoctrination system, the indoctrination camps. And anyway, the media, the whole advertising system is designed to make people feel like they're not good the way they are. They're not whole. They're not complete. The whole, the whole keeping up with the Joneses things. Like if you don't have the latest BMW or Lexus in your driveway or Mercedes, then you're inadequate. Your friends won't respect you. Or if you don't have, anyway, the whole consumerism thing. So this woman I dated, she was great because she didn't buy into that. She, she like we went down to the lake near where she used to live, and it was maybe 100 degrees out that day. It was in, I don't know, let's say July or something, I forgot, June maybe. And it was beautiful. It was fantastic. And she wanted to be outside. She didn't want to go shopping because the whole, consumerism thing, you have to buy all these things you don't need just to feel a little better about yourself. No, all of that is false. Anyway, these are, I guess we got off on a tangent on all that stuff, but we need to talk about all of this. We need to come back together as our community. So that's like a big leak in the boat of humanity that has been causing us to sink and barely keep our heads above water. We need to come together as our human family and repair these leaks in our society, in collective consciousness. And that's requiring you stepping up as the leader of your community. Will you honor that duty that you have and do that right now? All right, we're doing this together through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, freeingthematrix.com. If you haven't yet joined us there, then make sure you're stepping up and even leading your own Operation Greatness chapter in your community. That's where you're leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone in your local area as well as all your online friends, where they're stepping up and being that leader in their communities as well, because this is the work every one of us needs to do now. This is the biggest leak that we have in our boat, humanity's boat, which has been sinking very rapidly since the whole COVID psyop began in March of 2020, in America at least. And around the world, it's the same boat. We're all in the same boat together. And we need to fix that. We need to dismantle that system of oppression because we are sovereign. We are free. This is our duty, our destiny. So pause and reflect on each of these points here. Go back to the beginning and talk about each of your each of the points, your feelings about each point, talk about them as separate posts as you are leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating every one of your online friends. Because this is the work we all must do together. So, and in each of your posts, make sure that you're using your invite people link that you got once you joined us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, because for every 1,200 people, you are transforming through them stepping up and being that leader of all of their online friends, which is required of every one of us now, especially you. For every 1,200 people joining us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind through your link, that's worth $35,400 to you every month. That's financial freedom money. And you're also giving that financial freedom. You're handing like you're giving every one of your online friends the ability to become financially free, like you're handing it on a silver platter to them by them stepping up and being that inspired leader in their among all their friends, as well as leading their own Operation Greatness chapters in their communities, the same way all of us are now doing, and becoming parasite cleansed as well, where we're stopping the self-sabotage, we're removing the poisons in our body, mind, and spirit, and we're walking away from all of the programming. We're transcending it, we're moving through it, we're letting go of it. All of this is required of every one of us, by the way, in case that's not obvious and so apparent that of the need for you to do that yourself. Well, so let's get back to the original question here. Which of the leaks in your boat can we fix first together? I think for 75 to 79%, maybe it's more like 95 to 99% of the people, it's financial. They're sinking financially. They're overstressed. They're worried about the economy. Is it going to, well, I mean, anyway, we could go on and on and on and on and on because it is so, well, systemic. The leaks in our government boat, you might say, where they're spending like there's no tomorrow, and there's so much fraud and corruption because, well, anyway, you know the situation there. And yet, when they're printing money like it's not worth anything, not even worth the paper it's printed on, well, that just devalues it. I mean, like, okay, let's see. When was this anyway? Before the last presidential election, I met Carrie Lake, who was running for Arizona senator. No, senator. She ran for governor first, and then well, that election was stolen from her, as it was from President Trump. You know about all that. That's what I call fraud 1.0, and that was all part of that. The COVID psyop was the main event of fraud 1.0, the attempted totalitarian takeover. Anyway, Carrie Lake was saying that a newborn baby, there was one baby there at this event where I met her, and she was like, see that child there? That child came into the world already owing, and I think she said it was $290,000 or 249,000 or 50,000, something like that. That child owes because of the irresponsible leadership that we had allowed to serve us, quote unquote. I mean, anyway, we have a lot of work to do, and we can't just pretend it's not there. We can't kick the can down the road any further. I mean, like during the Obama years, anyway, we have to take action. We have to become the leaders of our lives, of our families, of our neighborhoods, of our communities. That's how we are fixing the leaks of, well, what I call the effects of the dumbing device, where, I mean, think about this. The dumbing device is one of the prime agents of evil that has caused us to get in this situation. I want you to very carefully become aware of that, recognize this, be honest with yourself about that. Since the dumbing device, I mean, look at your own life and look at the lives of everyone you know. How much more divided we become, how much more distracted we become, how much more disconnected we become. I mean, like the stereotypical example is the family that they might even sit together and yet they're all on their dumbing device. They're not connected anymore at all because the virtual has superseded the real. There's nothing real about the virtual. It's a disconnection. It's a false premise. There's nothing fulfilling. There's no bonding. There's no connection through the virtual, through the dumbing device. Anyway, I mean, that's the source of leaks for so many people. They're not even focused on their purpose, their vision, their mission. They're just scrolling. They're just like distracted, divided, disempowered. They're in despair and they're depressed, all because of the dumbing device. I mean, that's a key thing for every one of us to be aware of to fix that leak. And we can eliminate that right away just by using it as the tool it was intended to be, which is like if for some reason you want to know the population of Zimbabwe or, something, it's like just if you want to know facts or like, where is the cheapest gas station in town or what movies are playing at the theater if you expose yourself to that form of toxic programming. Anyway, I mean, yeah, you do need to become parasite cleansed, by the way. That's a subset of freeingthematrix.com. That's where you're removing all of the negative programming which had kept you down, which had kept you divided, distracted, disempowered, disconnected. This is the time where all of us are stepping into our power, where we're fixing the leaks in our lives, and we're working to help each other fix the lives in the boat. We are all in the same boat together, the human family, and we're not sinking. We're not going down. We're fighting for our lives, for our survival, for our future, for our children and their future. This is what is required of every one of us. So go thoroughly into this awareness, this contemplation, your recognition of the areas where you had been sinking and repairing those leaks. So let's go back to this, make it personal for you again. Which of the leaks in your boat can we fix first together? To me, the financial one is the biggest one. So the answer to that for every one of us that I'm providing, and you can provide your own if you have something better, my answer to that is by all of us becoming part of the freeingthematrix.com mastermind and leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone connected with us in our local communities as well through the Operation Greatness subset of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. And by you joining us there now, and actively sharing your link, like right here in all of the posts you're making, by sharing your invite people link, you're getting, like for every 1,200 people who are joining us in FTM, freeingthematrix.com mastermind, through your link, that's worth $35,400 to you. So, and if you have 10,000 online friends and you're leading every one of them into becoming part of freeingthematrix.com through you, then, what would that be? 1,200 times what? 8 would be what? 9,600. So that's like 8 times $35,400, which would be what? 240,000 something dollars a month. I mean, that's pretty significant money for a lot of people, right? You could do a lot with that money. You could do a lot of good in your community. You could do a lot of good with your family. You could make a lot of investments. You could probably pay off all your bills and be pretty set financially. And I mean, this is just an example. Of course, I'm not making any income claims or promises or anything like that, because if you do nothing, then you'll enjoy nothing. It's all based on you and the merit you are the good you are doing in your community and in our world, right? So, I mean, to me, that's the way for us to fix our financial leaks. We're all coming together and working and helping each other, serving and supporting each other and living our vision. And my vision is see how this feels to you. My vision is that we have all come together and helped 1.72 billion people become financially free, living their dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness, because this is the greatest thing we have ever done and the higher purpose of all of our lives. In fact, this is called humanity's unifying manifestation, where we're all creating this together. And that number, 1.72 billion people becoming very wealthy, living their dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness, that's happening by you right here getting your 1,200 people joining freeingthematrix.com through your link, and them getting their 1,200 people, and those 1,440,000 people getting their 1,200 people, and that's 1.72 billion people, 1,728 million people to be exact. So how does that feel to you? That feels right to me. Does that feel right to you? Then make sure you're leading your 1,200 people, because then you joining us in FTM, if you haven't done that yet, through freeingthematrix.com, leading every one of your online friends who are leading every one of theirs. I believe that's the higher purpose of your life, and that would be your greatest contribution to the world. I believe that would fix a lot of the leaks in your boat. Do you agree? And then those 1,440,000 getting their 1,200, and you transform the lives of 1.72 billion people. How many people in all of human history have had anywhere near that level of impact? I can think of two. One by the name of Mahatma Gandhi, who liberated 1 billion people in India by expelling tyranny in his day. We need a Gandhi, and I believe that's you. I believe this is why you are here on the planet right now, to be that leader, to be the modern day version of Gandhi by leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone you can. There's no limit to how many people you can transform other than the total number of people born and not yet born. So that's like 8 billion people alive now. And then if maybe what, 4 billion are going to be born in the next 5 years or whatever, I don't know how many people, 10, whatever. That's the contribution of your life. That's the gift you are to our human family. How many holes in humanity are you filling, repairing the leaks in the humanity boat by being of greater service to more people, living your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma? Is there any question about that? You've always known that you are here for something big, something really important, to be of service to a lot of people. Is there any question about this being that higher purpose of your life? This, you've seen that you have the power to transform the whole world, so do that. Devote yourself to that manifestation. Use your power, which remember is beyond measure, and don't get lost in the dumbing device anymore. Stay connected with God, with humanity, with your vision, with your purpose, with your mission, and create that. Stay focused, stay inspired, stay empowered, stay in your power. And we're doing this together in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So we're all here serving you and supporting you every way we can. Does that feel right to you? Is that the most important leak that we can fix first, right here, right now, together? Like by you leading all your online friends through doing this for all of their online friends. And you getting, how many people do you have? Like on Twitter, X, what do I have today? Anyway, I haven't even been there yet. But I'm just checking right now. I have 183,281 people following me there. No one left behind. Do you think it would be appropriate or fair or honorable or in integrity for me to leave any of those 183,281 people in suffering and struggle and misery and fearing for the future? How would that be appropriate? I have to reach everyone because that's what I'm here for. That's what my gift is, my blessing, my duty, my responsibility. So how many people do you have on your social media? You can lead, inspire, transform, and liberate every one of them doing a little, L-I-T-L, more today in being of greater service. And that's what's needed in the world today, as we are all fixing the leaks in humanity's boat. And we're fixing that together through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. What other leaks do you have in your boat that are important to fix? And maybe all of them will come together by us fixing this enslavement matrix, dismantling it, and coming back together as the human family, where we're going to the farmer's market to buy our foods. We're saying no to all the foods that have been sprayed with poison, and we're not playing in that system anymore. We're dismantling. We're supporting people who are honorable. We're not giving any of our power, any of our money, any of our resources, our energy to evil anymore. We're tuning completely out CNN and all the evil mainstream media sources, the Communist News Network, and everyone connected with mainstream media. We're just giving them none of our power anymore. We're dismantling all of that system. We're doing that with our financial, with our money. We're putting our money where our mouth is, right? So what actions do you know we need to take as our human family? Go deep into that question in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. We're talking about all this. We're leading every one of us through doing the work required of every one of us. Nothing matters more than this for every one of us. You know that. So make sure that you are the example of what's possible for every one of us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind and in your community, especially leading your own Operation Greatness chapter there, and all of us becoming parasite cleansed. So we're saying no to the negative programming and the systems of negative programming. We're no longer poisoning ourselves. We're no longer allowing the poisoning of our water, our food, our air. We're taking back our lives and our world. That's the bottom line here. And this requires you and every one of us. And you're setting the example. You're raising the bar all the way to the top of showing how every one of us can transform our lives very quickly and how this is what's required of every one of us now. Any questions? So take all the posts that you've been making since the beginning of this Action Pod number 73, put them into the essay that you're sending me personally at dan@danclatt.com, and then share that as well in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. You know this is the most important work you have ever been asked or invited or been given to do, and that it's required of every one of us now. So you are the inspired leader, walking everyone connected with you through doing this themselves and being that leader in the lives of everyone connected with them. And this is how we're taking back our world. Nothing matters more than every one of us doing that because this is required now of us all. Any questions? I love you. I believe in you. I know how much you matter. I know the higher purpose of your life, and I know the gift you truly are to the world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.